Hello everyone, welcome to Beaver's Hobby Channel. In this video, we're gonna take a look at WLToys 244-016 1/24 scale rear-wheel drive buggy. First of all, I would like to thank Banggood for sending me this car for a review. If you are interested, the link is in the description as always. Now let's get on with the show. Here is the box. It has XK branding. And on the side, we can see more specs on the car. And the other side shows the new transmitter. And on the bottom, we have the info about the battery. Let's open it up and see what's inside. Let's pull it out. First, we have the car, which is actually pretty small. It is a little bit smaller than I expected, but again, it is 1/24, so this is a pretty good size. And under this box, we have a cross wrench to remove the wheels, and also a screwdriver, a USB charger that plugs into the balance plug. The manual is pretty detailed. So it has the full assembly in here, which is really good for maintenance. It also comes with the clips for the shocks, so we can preload the shocks and make them stiffer. Next, we have the transmitter. And that's it. It is pretty small compared to other cars from WLToys. Oh, so this is why they give us the screwdriver to open the transmitter battery compartment. The transmitter runs on 4 AAA batteries. It also has a flap on the front to no idea what. I suppose it might be a FPV screen that goes on top of this. We have to cut these to take the car out. So 2 should be enough. When you cut it, don't forget to support the car with your hand, otherwise it is going to drop down. And here it is. It is pretty small and pretty bouncy. It also has a differential, but it is pretty tight and notchy. To access the car, pull out this clip, and then you can remove the body. And here's inside the car. The battery is on JST PH plug, but it is 2-pin PH for the power. And to charge it, it is still JST XH, the standard size. By the way, if you want to charge it with a standard charger, you are going to need a JST PH 2-pin to your power plug. I'm gonna be honest, it is not very smooth. And the wheels are not very well balanced. Let's take a closer look at the car. It is 1/24 scale rear-wheel drive buggy. There is no other way of saying this, so I'll just come out and say it. It is nearly a 1-to-1 clone of Losi Micro B, but it is half the price, so of course they have to cut something out. So let's see what's been cut out of the Losi Micro B. First, I can feel that there is no foam insert in the tires. At the beginning, the drivetrain was very sticky and the differential didn't work. But after a few battery packs, the transmission has freed up and the differential now works properly. The shocks are not oil-filled and the springs are really soft. When I throw it down, it is really bouncy. the rear shocks are too long, which make the dog bones bite with the outdrives. However, the suspension is quite soft, so it is alright when it is on the ground because the suspension pushes the arms up like this, so it is fine. The problem only shows when the suspension is fully down, like when it is in the air. The width is 109 mm. The wheelbase is 120 mm. The chassis is plastic. And the body is held on by a clip. So we can pull this out and then lift it up and pull it back. Please don't mind the electronics. I have broken the original one, so I had to upgrade it to my own ESC and receiver. Anyway, I haven't done anything to the chassis, so apart from the electronics, everything else is original. It has a short servo horn and not a long one, like in the current version of Micro B. But the steering angle is quite alright. Let's pop a ball head and take a look at that. The hex to remove the ball head is 3 mm. The ball head is 3 mm with M1.4 screw thread. It has a little bit of play in the steering, but not too much, so it is not bad. And also a little bit of play in the rear wheels. But it is about the same on the low-C. It has quite a good ground clearance at 10 mm. It comes with a tool to remove the wheels, so that's really nice. The wheel nuts are M2 with 4 mm diameter. It uses wheel hex for the wheel mount. And the hex is 7.2 mm. So, the Micro B wheels are not going to fit on the WLToys directly because Micro B has the exact 7 mm wheel hex. So you are going to need to change the wheel hex before putting the Micro B wheels on. Let's take the wheel hex from Micro B and put it on WLToys. I'll even use the original pin from WLToys. Here's the Micro B wheel hex. And now I can put the Micro B wheel on. The wheels almost look identical, but they are not. The WLToy wheels have 7.2 mm hex, but the Micro B wheels have 7 mm hex. And I also noticed that the tires from WLToys are not as grippy as the ones on Micro B. Let's check out some other differences. As I mentioned earlier, WLToys come with spring shocks, but Micro B comes with oil shocks, while WLToys comes with brass bushings. Micro B comes with ball bearings. The steering arm orientation is different. The rear hub orientation is also different. WLToys has plastic chassis, while the low-C has aluminum chassis. The upper deck or plate is also different. On low-C, it is held down by the screws. It is held down by the clips on WLToys, which, to be honest, I prefer it like this, so I can remove the battery much easier. But on the low-C, if I want to remove the battery, I'm gonna have to remove these two screws. It also has screw holes, so if you want to upgrade the servo mount to aluminum, you can still use the original upper deck. By the way, it needs the top deck to be bolted in place, otherwise the whole chassis is going to flop around like this. The motor is also bigger on WLToys. By the way, it comes with 2-cell 350 mAh battery. Let's take a closer look at the original electronics. The motor is on the white plug, and these two plugs are labeled light. However, I couldn't get anything to work. It comes with 3-wire servo, but the plug is JST-SH 1mm. So if you upgrade the ESC, it is not going to plug into the new receiver directly, and you'll have to either change the servo or just do what I did, which is cut and solder new plug to it. Since it is 3-wire, the wiring is always the same. We have yellow for signal, red for power, and brown for ground. So you can cut that and solder to whatever plug you use, and it will work. The battery plug is JST-PH 2-pin, but here's the thing. WLToys uses standard format, which is when the notch is pointing towards you, the left is positive and the right is negative. However, I managed to break it by plugging the lossy battery in it. Because lossy has a different wiring, it has a reverse polarity. When the plug is pointing up, instead of having positive on the left and negative on the right, the battery plug somehow has the negative on the left and positive on the right. So without noticing that, which should have been obvious, just look at the color. I plugged this in and I heard a pop, and it was broken. Let's take a closer look at the transmitter. First thing first, this is a new protocol, and at the time of this recording, it is still not supported by the multi-protocol. So let's see what it can do. First, it has a steering trim, and here's a light button which I haven't been able to get it to work. Next, it has a servo reverse, probably in case you change the servo and it has a reverse direction. Next, we have a gyro gain. This gyro doesn't interfere that much, so it is pretty good for this car. Next, we have the speed limiter, which has 3 steps. And finally, this CCS button. It is a cruise control, and here's how to use it. First, you pull the throttle, and then hold it at how fast you want it to go, and then press this button. Now you can let go of the throttle, and it is going to remember the throttle position. There are 2 ways to cancel this. First, by press this button again, or you can brake like this, and it is going to stop. It also has a low voltage alarm, so when the battery on the car runs low, it is going to beep, which means it has some kind of 2-way communication to the car. And that's all the things this transmitter can do, which cover everything that this car needs. Unfortunately, there's a lot of delay between putting in the command and the car response, so it means that this new protocol has a high latency. Let's check the turning circle. This one was on the original electronics. It is 87 centimeters to the right. But 97 centimeters to the left. So the left turn is 10 whole centimeters wider. I have also tried using a longer servo horn, and it is the same to the right at 87 centimeters. But it is 95 centimeters to the left, so that improved a bit. Next, let's see if it can actually do 30 kilometers an hour, like it says on the box. Apparently not, but 21 is plenty fast enough. Next, I'm gonna prepare it for outdoor run. So, I'm gonna be using this carbon fiber sticker. It is a pretty thick sticker to protect the underside of the car. Let's cut it to size. So it is 6 by 16 centimeter, and it is going to go on the car like this. However, you can see that it is not a rectangle, so I'm going to be cutting it to the shape of the chassis. So now we have a general shape of the chassis. And now we have a sticker, the shape of the chassis plate. And just like that, now the underside is protected. Next, let's take it on a test drive. In conclusion, the rear tires don't have any grip on hardwood floor, and the front tires don't have any grip on carpet, and it understeers a lot. This combined with the large turning circle, I would say it is not suitable to run indoor unless you have a large room or you have a garage. Out of the box, on the first test drive, it was pretty much undrivable. It didn't follow the throttle and it would just rocket off by itself, and also it didn't turn. You need to do running right out of the box, otherwise it is not going to work, especially the differential. To run in the differential, lift the car up and let it run. Then grab hold to the wheel one side at a time, alternating between the two, and let it run until you feel that it is smooth. But no matter what you do, you can always feel that the drivetrain is very sticky. It is because the motor is very stiff and it needs a lot of power to turn. So it cannot run at low speed or creep like the original Micro B. However, because it has a soft suspension, it handles bumps better than Micro B, and it is not going off the ground as much, so it runs on rough terrain very well. It jumps pretty well, and judging by the multiple crash landings that I have, I would say it is durable too. Looking at the price at around 50 euros on Banggood, and thinking at the amount of fun that I have, I would say it is worth it. Sure, it is not as precise as the Micro B, but you can fix that by upgrading the transmitter and installing your own ESC. This will fix the slow response of the original electronics too. Also, if you want to upgrade the wheels, don't forget that you'll need new wheel hex too, because it comes with 7.2mm hex, and that won't work with Micro B wheels. I'll probably upgrade it a little bit more and see how it pans out. All in all, it's a good platform to modify, but if you want something that's ready out of the box, just get the original Micro B. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and see you again next time.